This is the text wrap tutorial for the fidget spinner hub. So in this tutorial, we're going to show you how to add text to the outside edge of your fidget spinner hub. In your case, the request is that you either use your initials or your first name. All right. The idea is this will help us identify whose fidget spinner is whose when they're all assembled. So the first thing I want to do is I want to come over here to my front plane and I'm going to select it. When I do, I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to rotate my orbit to the side so you can see this slices right through the middle of it. For this feature, I want a plane that's in front of, or a sketch that's in front of my object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my plane tool and I'm going to create a reference plane. Now we created a reference plane in a previous project when we did CAD block number 3. You'll notice there's a variety of different ways you can create reference planes. For us, we're going to do an offset. So an offset plane allows us to pick a plane or a surface that already exists and create another plane that's a specific distance away from it. In this case, we're going to use 15 millimeters, and then we're going to green check. You'll notice that this plane is now in front of my object, which is what we wanted. All right, so if I look at this from my left side, or if I rotate it around and look at it from my right side, and you can see it is clearly in front of the object. So with that done, I'm going to select that plane. I'm going to right click and create a new sketch. And on the keyboard allows me to go normal to that plane. I no longer need to see that plane to be able to make my sketch. So I'm going to hide it by poking out the eyeball in the design tree. And then I'm going to hit F to fit. Okay, I'll zoom out just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my text tool and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to just click and drag a box that's roughly the size of the text I want. Okay, you can see it overextends by a little bit, but it's largely centered. And I'm going to type in my name. I would use all caps for this. Okay, the lowercase letters are tinier details and they're harder to get to come out when we print. Okay, so if you look closely and I zoom out a little bit, you'll see I'm overextending quite a bit. So I'm going to grab this, and if it'll let me move it, I'll move it. If it doesn't let you move it, the other thing you can do is you just grab this and then come up here. Underneath your linear pattern tool is the transform. So with the transform, I can grab this arrow and slide it left or right. Okay, and then I can also use this arrow to slide it up or down. And then I can use this arrow to scale it. So I'm going to scale it down just a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to go for a height of 0.75. Let's try, yeah, it looks pretty decent. And then I'm going to drag it up just a hair. All right, so I had to click with my mouse to confirm it. All right, you'll notice right now it fits pretty well into the length of it. I could make it a little bigger, a little smaller if I wanted to, but I kind of like the way this fits. And you're going to have to use, set yours to your liking. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to green check. And if we look at this from an isometric view with front left to top, you could see it is not on the part, and that's okay. I'm going to select my sketch from the sketch plane over here, and then I'm going to come over and I'm going to look for my wrap tool. Okay, in this case, it's underneath my transform tool. Okay, if I didn't know where it was though, I could always go to search tools and type the word wrap, and it would bring me right to where it's living. And depending upon how your browser is zoomed in and out, it might be buried or it might be visible right up in the ribbon bar. So I'm going to choose wrap, and then let's try that again. There we go, choose wrap. I already have the face of my sketch selected, so it needs a surface to wrap to. In this case, I'm going to set it for solid, and I'm going to choose my target, which is going to be this bottom edge here. You'll notice that with the wrap, it's trying to create a solid, and that's not what I want. I want it to actually create like an engraving. So I'm going to punch it in, and the thickness is how deep it goes into the material. I'm going to try 0.5, which will probably be too shallow, but we'll try it. So I'll type in 0.5, hit enter. Okay, and what you'll notice is the top of my text is getting cut off as the curve drops away. All right, so I'm going to try 0.75 and see if that works. Okay, 0.75 seems to work. I'm getting the top of my C. Nothing, none of my text is really getting clipped off. So that seems to be a nice sweet spot. So I'm going to hit merge with all and then green check. So now that that's done, Okay, you could see I have my name engraved into the side of this or wrapped into the side of this, right? It's not flat. It wraps right around a curved surface, and that's what that feature is for. So now I'm ready to save this as a step file and bring it into Bamboo Studio to set it up for 3D printing. All right, so go ahead and we'll see you in the next video.